We are all set to go then for FIA Formula 3. Previously on Formula 3.
The last chance to take pole position in FIA Formula 3 for 2025. And a big battle going on in the Teams Championship will take a big blow for Trident. Champion crowned already for Rafa Kamara, but his lap would be deleted, putting him all the way to the back of the field and leaving an opportunity for Campos Racing, who would put 2 cars in the top 12. With Nikola Solov being one of them, but he would not take another pole position. It would be a second pole position for AIX Racing's Brad Benavides.
And that's where we join the story for FIA Formula 3 here at Monza in 2025. It's the final weekend of the support action. It's round 10 of 10. And we're at the Temple of Speed. Welcome to what is Pirelli's 500th Grand Prix weekend in Formula 1. And it is Sprint Saturday around this 3.599 mile circuit. 11 turns in total and 2 DRS zones. The longest run down to turn 1 bar 1 circuit on the calendar at Barcelona. In terms of the tyres, well, we've only got the soft compound here. The lap record to deal with is a 137.559. Set a couple of years ago. New car should be able to be very helpful with that manner. It's a low downforce, high brake and fuel consumption. Tyre usage is in the middle of where it needs to be. Coming to the commentary box then to join myself and Omi as we get ready to go. And Omi, this is going to be fun, a sprint race action. So 17 laps ahead of us. No idea what's going to happen with the timing monitors, but this is going to be a great, great race. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. It's going to be a very good race indeed. And we find ourselves in a situation where our pole sitter, Lawrence Van Hoopen, is celebrating his 20th birthday today as well. Nina Gaidman won on her birthday 1 week ago. So let's see whether that's going to bode well for Van Hoopen, who gets to experience the same thing.
Yeah, the grid going to be formed as well. The run down towards the Rettifilio is going to be very important as well. As we now take a look at how they line up on the starting grid, I'll hand over to Amy.
Thank you very much. Of course, we had 2 parts when it came to qualifying yesterday. We will still reverse the top 12, but after a lap time deleted, it was Kamara who finds himself all the way down in 30th. Could it be a last to first? We saw that from a Brazilian 1 year ago in F2. He's alongside G. And then we got Barrichello making his debut when it comes to the Formula 3 Championship. He's next to his teammate Maranangeli. And then it's Bruno Del Pino in 26 next to Dams Lucas Oil's Lacorte, who's had a race ban earlier on this year. James Headley moves teams to Van Amersfoort for this final round. He's next to Louis Sharp, who will go from 23rd. And then it's James Wharton in 22nd and Teofil Null in 21st position for himself and his team. Callum Woysen is in 20th. Noah Stromstead with a good 19th position as well for him. Christian Hose in 18th next to Mari Boyer, the Spanish driver, in what could be his final ever weekend in the FIA Formula 3 Championship, hoping for promotion to Formula 2. Nikita Johnson is in 16th and he's next to Charlie Verse, who's in 15th place on the grid. And then Brandon Badoa is in 40th. He's next to Ivan Dominguez. He will go from P13. Brad Benavides, second pole yesterday for him. He's reversed down to P12 today. And he is next to Ugo Gachuku. Noel Leon is in 10th. And then it's Sassana Politopoulos, like the Campos driver who's had a few wins this year. He is in P9. Nicholas Solov is in 8th. And then it's Roman Bilinski, who found the wall in practice yesterday. He's in 7th. Then it's Zagazeta in 6th. He usually finds himself in 5th. He's one of the best starts this season. Let's hope that changes from P5 on the grid today. He's behind Tuukka Tappinen, who's in 4th. Alongside Tim Traminitz, they have the 2nd row of the grid. And then it's Martini Estention in 2nd. And our pole sitter, Lawrence Van Hoopen, celebrating his 20th birthday, hoping to do so on the top step of the podium in our final sprint race of the year.
Yeah, final sprint of the season. It's been a long year for FIA in Formula 3 as they head off on the formation lap then, Omi. What are we going to be expecting in this place then? It's not the usual type of robust circuit that we're experienced with. It is a hard, abrasive track, and 9 times out of 10 it's always quite an exciting run down towards the first corner, but we can expect quite a lot of drama sometimes.
Yeah, quite a lot of drama, I think, is the only way to describe this place. I think usually, always, if you were to say at the start of the year what's going to be the best F3 race, what's going to be the most chaotic, what's going to be the best one to watch, you would always say Monza. The feature races have been very good over the last 2 years, I think it's fair to say, but the sprint, equally, it's always overtaking it. It's always an overtaking fest, so get ready for all sorts of drama and all sorts of chaos when it comes to that. So it's going to be chaotic, it's going to be interesting, so I think all I can say is just expect a lot of overtaking everywhere.
Yeah, this is going to be quite an exciting race. Do not want to leave the room. Let's check out our top 3. They've got their mic on. P2.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, I think. The race around here is always quite interesting. So
Well, if you can speak mine, you've got it. But unfortunately, they have not done the correct timing screens there, Omi, so that's a little bit hard to tell what's what.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're just left here with a very quick
Apologies for any issues.
piece of interview.
There we go.
And yes, there you go, you hear it as we get the commentary coming back in. But yes, couldn't directly hear from the top 3, but I guess if we were to guess what they're probably attempting as we make our way through down this straight, this back straight towards the Ascari chicane, Kamara all the way down in 30th. That's going to be a lot of work for him to do. He'll be happy that he's at least coming into this as the champion driver. Going back to what I was saying, top 3 probably talking about, you've got an experienced front row of the grid, so they're probably discussing about the fact of how anything's possible, how you can always see overtaking around this circuit. So you have to be calm and you have to make sure that you can try and get all the way to the end as well. But yes, Brazilian driver starting last. We had that in Formula 2 1 year ago. So there's some good history of starting last around this circuit in a feeder series, so you've got every opportunity. No drivers' championship this weekend to be sorted, but the team's championship is on the line. 282 points for Trident, and then you have 263 for Campos as Bruno Michel watches on along with the high-tech team as they approach the Parabolica and get ready to form up on the grid.
Yeah, we will be ready to go soon with a go time and a go moment. 9 times out of 10, this will be a very critical section of the race, so you don't want to leave the room anytime soon, as for some reason our lap counter isn't working on the main screen. Our OBS has been having a paddy the last few days, so we are desperately trying to fix that before the race gets started. But only down to turn 1, this is going to be quite an exciting run.
It will be indeed. You have a long run down there and a bit of a slipstream, so it means that a lot can unfold by the time that they hit the brakes, by the time that they actually hit the anchors for that first turn. So there is a lot to keep an eye on. There's a lot that can happen, along with some incidents before we even get down to the first turn, because of how much of a run it is. You've got 30 cars all trying to chase and get to one piece of tarmac, so it can lead to some very close moments. So prepare for quite a bit of chaos soon as the 5 lights go out. I think it's the only way to look at this type of race around this type of circuit as well. Trident watching on, big job ahead for their drivers, and let's see how much Kamara can make the move in this race. He's been cursed when it has come to sprint races this year, but if he is going to end it on a high, this is a perfect one with some overtaking, with a championship already in his grasp.
Lawrence Van Hoopen on the right-hand side of your screen, on the left-hand side with Martin Estenshot down towards turn 1. Behind is Tramnitz and Tuukka Tappinen as we will go in towards the 5 light procedure. Stand by for action then for the final sprint of the FIA Formula 3 season in 2025. Track temperature 20.7, air temperature 19.8, wind speed is low, so it's all down to the first corner. So tension is up. 30 cars into a tight right-left chicane. Pray they all get through safely. Medical car at the back. Green flag will fly and the lights will come on. Green flag's on. Come on, let's get the lights. Final sprint of the year. Lights coming on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's go, and it's a great start coming up as well for Martin Estenshaw. Bad start for Lawrence Van Hopen, did not get the traction he wanted. Tappanen is trying to go on the inside line as well to come through. So is Tim Chamnitz, he's on the outside line. Tappanen's going to the inside line, and Tappanen leads into the Retafilio. But everybody locks up, smashing into the wall. It's one of the VARs going straight over the bollards. Into the lead goes Martin Estenshaw as they come round the first time. The Curta Grande yellow flag is out right now. Surely they'll need a safety car for that one. As look at this, Van Hopen side by side on the grass trying to get ahead of Stenshaw into the braking zone for the Dalla Rogia chicane. Cold tyres, cold brakes. Are they going to get through? A little bit of a slide there from Van Hopen. Stenshaw goes back through and he's now having to defend hard from Tuukka Tappanen and his teammate. As on the inside in towards the Lesmo comes the inside of Gusti. Still gets through better. What a start, Omi.
Crazy start to the Formula 3 sprint race. We expected exactly that as they try and make their way through. They were duking out for the lead all the way through that opening sector. And now we sprint down towards the Ascari chicane.
Trying to go around the outside is Tim Chamnitz as well. On to Katapanen into Ascari, and he's made the move stick. Fabulous move and contact off the track and into the gravel goes. Tenasapol into Pruvazak. The rear actuator has been damaged as well. We've got more cars going off through the gravel. That is one of the AIX cars in the middle of the field, but it's all stopped now as the safety car has come out, Omi.
It has indeed. Dominguez looked like the Van Amersfoort found himself with quite a bit of trouble. Looks like they've also changed the race to 18 laps without addressing as well, so that's also happened. We were expecting 17. They always keep it usually the same, but they've decided to change that for some reason as the Van Amersfoort car finds himself in the wall of Dominguez. That is a terrible, terrible start to his weekend when it comes to racing. He'll go again tomorrow, but that is an absolute disaster finding himself in the wall.
Safety car out. It will now form up the field. Stenshaw leads from Van Hopen, Chamnitz, Tappanen, Zagazita, Gusti, Belinsky, Solov, Uguchi and Benedives, the top 10. And there was more action on that opening lap than we've had all season long here in Formula 3. There was drama left, right and centre. The safety car will now filter them through. Dominguez is out of the race. As we take a look at it now, still with dramas, and at least Christian Ho has been sent to the back. Barrichello is 28th, and trying to have a look, Tasman Pruvazak in 18th position, despite getting bumped up the rear from somebody, as the field will now turn in once more. Only they'll have to go again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, teams, drivers, they all basically get themselves aware of any safety car interruptions, any type of scenarios they will go through at the start of the day. This is one of those races where you are certain that you are going to get a safety car, and it can be situations and scenarios like we have a few laps to go. Do you wait till the last lap to take the lead, or do you make the move now? And a lot of the time making the move now is a good thing around this circuit because there is no guarantee that we'll get to the end of it without getting an interruption. So you've got to be careful with how you approach things. And a lot of the time, 30 cars into the first turn, you would expect a safety car. So I think that would have been on a lot of the mind by the teams that we would end up with a safety car at the end of the opening lap. As we go back to the start, Giusti got away very well, immediately went on the attack further back, but it was Lawrence Van Hopen having to defend from Stenchel as they went toe-to-toe. But it's going to be Tuukka Tappanen who's going to find a gap down the inside as he's so much late on the brakes, taking the lead, but then going off, as meanwhile further back, it was the VAR car of Dominguez into the wall.
And look as well how many cars took the escape road down at the Retafilio. Now that there's only a line of gravel across it, it's not determined of what we used to have with the sausage curbs there. That's been removed for the bikes. Let's go on board with Martin Estenshaw then as he goes down to turn 1. He got the better traction compared to Lawrence Van Hopen. He's able to go wheel to wheel with him down towards the first corner. And then this was the real opportunity, because as soon as he hits the brake, he's got Tappanen throwing up the inside. Now he forces Stenshaw off the track. So Stenshaw can argue over me. I was forced off the track. I couldn't take my normal racing line because Tappanen did go off and blocked his path.
First race of the weekend, already giving the stewards quite a lot to look at. I think it is fair to say as well, but that's what happens on a Formula 3 opening lap. Then Van Hoopen keeps his foot in absolutely perfectly down towards this second chicane, able to fight back through, but then once again it's going to be a lock-up, all out of shape, and he found himself with a compromised line that Norris was on last year during the Formula 1 Grand Prix as well, through that part of the circuit, and it allows P3 also at the time of Van Hoopen to be able to get through. So now we take a look at Tim Traminich to see what he was doing as he was involved in this absolute brought down towards the first corner. You've just got to try and place the car and let it all unfold in front of you.
Down to the braking zone. Still trying to hold it back. Traminich was lucky to get away with that one, judging by the exit curve as well. And he's immediately in the tow, and he gets right alongside later on in the lap onto Tappanen, and he goes right round the outside, coming into Ascari. It was an astounding move from Traminich. Did not want to hold back at all. Down the brakes, you can see he's already looking to the outside of the Ferrari Academy driver down at the Dalla Roggia. Can't get through, swaps it back up, and now we're going to go with Kamara, who's made up 6 places from starting 30th on the grid only.
He has indeed. So this is what happens for Kamara then on the grid. He's absolutely rocketed. A few cars we're expecting to get by due to all of the chaos down at the first turn that we usually have in Monza. So he places the car on the outside line. He's got Barrichello to the side. We are going to see, of course, Dominguez go off directly in front of us when he got on the brakes. Now he's wheel to wheel and in combat as he stands on the power as well. That is going to be him fighting away with G at the moment it was. So at the moment, G actually gets back ahead of Kamara. Then he's going to fight his way through shortly into the second chicane. We'll see what he decides to do. G places his car and kind of boxes himself in down the inside. Barrichello does the same. Kamara steams around the outside of 2 drivers at that moment. And then also at the same time, he then goes hunting on another AIX car as well of Marin Angeli. He then gets up the inside. We've got a lock-up ahead as well from the Van Amersfoort driver as Noel was trying his best to keep that position. Then Kamara's going to nip up the inside again, and he couldn't take that position quite, but it was a fair effort, I think it is fair to say, as we now right on board with Tim Traminich. This was the move that you were talking about. He's going to go around the outside, very close to the grass. It's a risky part of the circuit, but then he's much more late on the brakes by the time he went into Ascari, hits the apex, and that is P3 for him. What a great move that was, and a move that he absolutely needed, and here was into Pruvazak going off, making contact with our positive of tomorrow.
Hey, you ran right into the back of me.
That's an accurate description.
Went right into the side of me, he says. Well, yeah.
10-second penalty.
Yeah, wow, okay. So time penalty's already applied. The safety car should be in this lap. Yeah, they haven't increased it to 18 laps without telling us. It should have been a 17-lap race. So the steward's adding one on. Solov now in 3rd place in the championship. Will move up to 2nd ahead of Boyer by a point. That's still to be decided. That's why Solov, Boyer and Tramnitz are in a battle today. Kamara on 156. He's already the champion. He's got that sorted long ago. But still, 31 minutes left of this race. The race will probably end, well, it has to go to time, so it will end after the 31 minutes plus 1 lap that we will have. This is Brad Benedives, though, into the pit lane. The AIX now is the car we saw going off the track at the exit of Ascari and damaging the front wing because he's come in for new change and he's dropped it to the back of the field.
Yeah, so he was the one, of course, making contact. So he's so he just gets going. Yeah, so he was the one who made contact with the Pruvazak. So yeah, at Ascari indeed. And at Ascari, the cars make their way through with the confirmation that the safety car is going to be ending. And all of the carnage is about to continue here in this Formula 3 sprint race, I think it is fair to say, with Stenshall leading the way. Now, nailing this restart, very important. You don't want to be dishing out a whole slipstream down that straight. You want to try and catch your rival out.
Catching is one thing, passing is quite another, but the slipstream should be interesting down to turn 1. When Stenshall put the pedal down, look how much he's backing the field up already. Schumacher did that a couple of years ago. I say couple, 2000 as well. He backed the pack up, and unfortunately, Jenson Button hit the wall on the exit down and ends up in the barrier down at the Parabolica. Sensual's hit the gas now coming into the Parabolica, the last of the 11 turns on the circuit, and we are back racing again here at Monza for lap number 5 of 18, and already Travnitz is right at the back of Lawrence Van Hopen as they come down towards the turn 1 as well. Van Hopen's trying to go defensive, but Travnitz has dived to the inside line. They're both going to try and have the toe on Stenshall down to the first corner. It's a long run to the Rettifilio. Hard on the brakes coming into the Zagazita's got the inside line on Chuka Tappinen as well. Hard on the brakes, anyone going to make contact this time by Kramer trying to slip through on the inside line there as well. Further back, that's Ugachu and Leon battling together as they come through. Everyone makes it through the Rettifilio safely down now through the Curva Grande towards the Dalla Roggia chicane. One ball with Tim Travnitz on Lawrence Van Hopen, and he's not going to give up at all, and he sails through on the outside line, cuts off as well on the inside line, and up into second position has now gone Tim Travnitz with a super move.
Superb move indeed for Travnitz as they try and make their way to it. Meanwhile, Bilinski's round the outside of Solov as we get down to Lismo 1, and he's going to make that move and take that position. So it is going to be Solov now in 8th position. Ugo Gachuku directly in behind. They're all trying to see whether there's any moves they can quickly make in this middle sector before it all opens up. Down on the start finish straight once again. There's Ugo Gachuku at the moment, and he'll be the next one to try and attack Solov as we head towards Ascari. Just having a look for a move. He's in P6 and he's trying to chase down Chuka Tappinen.
Side by side coming through around the outside. We now see Charlie Wirtz making the move on Mari Boyer to stay in 11th position as well. Just saw Callum Volzin as well having a little bit of an exit move. So Solov now just still a point ahead of Boyer as they come down towards the Parabolica once more. There's a lock-up coming up there. Who was that? That wasn't Bilinski, was it? So who was further behind locking up? Well, TFL Niles dropped back into 17th position behind Tenasipol to prove us that DRS has been enabled as they come down towards turn number 1. Hard on the brakes, got side by side further back. That's Tappinen under pressure, but we're going to make it 3 wide. Diving on the inside line, Roman Bilinski trying to get ahead. Big lock-up coming in as well from one of the Tridents who flies off the circuit at awesome speed. I think that coming in, that's going to be off the track as well. Has to be Noah Stromstead further back. But still, anyway, continue on. Side by side now through Curva Grande. Several cars going side by side. Right there is the 4 of Stromstead. And he hasn't rejoined, so was that... Who's going to drop down the order? It's hard to tell because they haven't caught up on the timing screen. Fantastic stuff going on at the moment, as now we see the 3 of Ugo Gachu defending hard from his teammate Noel Leon, and this is what happened down at Dalla Roggia. So we're looking further back, and who's that? It's from the Red Bull Solov come the corner.
Did he push me off, mate?
Did he really? I don't think he did, Omi. I think he just went and braked himself.
Absolutely, they're all fighting down there as well. Let's now take a look at more of those carnages that were going on down at the first stand.
It was Stromstead going off. I'm impressed. I could identify that quite quickly because he was then side by side with the rest of the field. He came out in exactly the same position that he lost out to, so not too bad then, but Boyer goes back through. Then Oleon going on the inside line of his teammates as he made the move stick into the Parabolica. I want to see if we can cut back. I think he has, because Ugachu is up to 8th, Solos down to 9th, so they're all in a battle together as they come over the line once more, starting lap 7, completing lap 6 of 18, and the slipstream here at Monza, so importantly critical as they come down to the braking zone, side by side again further back, as Ugachu is going to make the move as well. He's gone round the outside this time as well of Chuka Tappinen into the braking zone, and more drama, 3 wide in the braking zone. That's not going to end well. How did that end well? 3 wide in the braking zone, one on the curb down at the Rettifilio, and everyone making it through safely further back. I think coming through, that is Johnson in 19th position, battling over with one of the ARTs. This is amazing stuff. Go on, Abby.
Absolutely wild stuff indeed. Now, Travnitz using that DRS to get within range, overtaking range to Travnitz to Stenshorn as well, as they were all fighting their way to another moment. Tim Travnitz, our winner here 1 year ago in this exact race. He won the sprint race at Monza 2024, and he's got a chance to win the sprint race at Monza 2025 in FIA Formula 3 once again. So it would mean quite a lot if Tim Travnitz can reach the checkered flag first, but he's under serious threat from behind as well. So you're trying to attack, but you're also trying to defend at the same time.
Some breaking Formula 1 news that's just come through. Pierre Gasly's extended his contract without Pete until the end of 2028. As now we see Lawrence Van Hopen battling with Tim Tramnitz down towards the Parabolica. Can they get away through on the inside? Meantime, Roman Belinsky trying to look on the inside of the MP Motorsport of Houston Zagazita as well. Still not working out that way we thought it would, as Ugo Chiru fast up of the race on a 1:39.668.
Absolutely. Here we go. Across the line once again. This time Tramnitz has got a proper one. And Stenchel knows that he has to try and break the slipstream as we're side by side and very nearly 3 wide behind as well.
Roman Belinsky's on the outside line. Stenchels having to defend the race lead as well from everybody else. Up into third place though. Has now gone Roman Belinsky with a fantastic manoeuvre. Can he get the inside line as well on Van Hopen? No, he can't. Van Hopen's on the back of Tramnitz to come out of the Rettifilio towards now the Curta Grande. Stenchels just holding off at the front of the race as well. But you can see how visibly slower he is to come down with the slipstream. That's going to be contact if they're not careful. Round the outside then comes the number 7 of Lawrence Van Hopen into the braking zone. Tramnitz going to push him off as much as he can. There's a car further back as well as Charlie Bird's battling with Tampinen and Ugo Chiru and Noel Leon. They're all going off as Headley's been noted for track limits at the Della Loggia. And up the inside comes Callum Vozin back ahead of Noah Stromstead. It's all happening here this morning at Monza. It's very hard to try and keep across on everything that's happening as they come out of Lesmo 2 and down towards Ascari.
Absolutely, as it stands, Boy would still be second place in the championship, then it would be Solov and Tramnitz as well. He needs all the points that he can get as we're also continuing to battle. Charlie Bird's having a look up the inside and getting past Tuukka Tappinen as well. He's not the only one. Into Pruvazak is having a look down the inside and he's going to get past Noah Stromstead.
Is TFL now going to find, say, a little bit of a run down towards the Parabolica? Look at them. It's like a snake zigzagging down the back straight as they come in towards the Parabolica, sending it through on the inside line, trying to find the right traction point, and then really accelerate down towards the Rettifilio. Side by side of the exit as well, coming through now. That's the 19 of Gusti trying to get ahead as well of Zagazita. 10-second penalty for Lacorte as he was starting procedure infringement and out of position at the safety car line. Go! Big one there. How did Ugo Chiru save that? He got massively out of shape, almost went into the exit of the pit wall. He's out of time now though, coming into the braking zone, off the track as well. Goes Zagazita, comes back on in front of this little battle as well, as now the race leader has changed, as into the lead goes Tim Tramnitz ahead of, as well, that of Martin Steinschweiz in second position. Ugo Chiru is having to hold off though from Noel Leon. Gusti's coming around the outside and Dami on the inside. That's Roman Belinsky going for second position. He's trying to outbrake himself. Senchtor's going too deep as well. That'll leave him compromised at the exit. Coming out of Della Loggia towards Lesmo. Gravel all over the track as everyone's dying left, right and centre as tyres become a factor at the halfway stage of this race.
Absolutely mega stop in this sprint race. It is all action as they make their way through lap number 9 out of 18 as well, and Belinsky trying to fight his way through. It was a great double overtake last time by, so on lap number 8 when he went down into the first turn. It was absolutely remarkable. They're still side by side as Zagazet is ahead of Ugo Igachukwu and Belinsky still trying to attack as well.
And Del Pino's been noted for moving before the signal, and that would be the lights going out. That's usually a time penalty as well to come through. Now Tramnitz at the front of the field. He's pulled out a 0.3 of a second advantage over Stenchel. Now it's 0.7 as they run down towards the Parabolica. Look at that. Noel Leon trying to go all over the back of Ugo Igachukwu as well. The black liveried, well, just normal, isn't it, Omi, as well? It's the normal carbon fibre livery that they've removed because of the paint, because he's a tall driver. He needs every advantage he can. He's holding off Noel Leon, but I think Gusti just got ahead as they come down towards the braking zone once more, and it's time for the Snake Grand Prix. He's round the outside. Roman Belinsky looks left, then has to look right. Ugo Chiru defends hard, but goes up the inside line to Zagazita. Zagazita still holding that inside line. Lacorte's been told to box now for the penalty, as they're all side by side. Someone just lost a bit of bodywork coming through the Rettifilio. Still, Ugo Chiru battling with Noel Leon, but they're both attacking Zagazita, as one goes left, one goes right, down towards the Della Loggia chicane. They're 3 wide. Leon backs out of it. Ugo Chiru doesn't, but can't get alongside into the chicane. And now Zagazita's really in a place to defend well. Still though, Tramnitz leads as into the pit lane comes Lacorte. Kamara's been noted, leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
Yeah, there's been so much going on as well further behind for the stewards to look at. We've only been able to see what's been happening down at the front of the field as well. This was some of the wild action down into the first turn as they all got on the brakes and it was wild stuff, and there was the contact for Lecorte, so he went into the side then of the AIX car at that moment as they were brawling. But yeah, I want to see a replay of Hugo and Chikru nearly dropping it into the... There we go. My word, was that close.
That was insane. At the same time, we were looking at that. Around the outside, Tim Chamberlain's making the move on Martin Stenchel for the race lead, and then Stenchel had to defend hard, coming in as well from the 25 of Roman Belinsky. This is on board with Mari Boyer on the way down towards the Rettifilio now. He gets such a traction, but he's going to get surprised by how much traction he actually gets.
Yeah, he's going to be gaining all the time then. From this moment onwards, then he has to make the move. He has to go to the inside in this specific occasion. So he sends it up the inside. I also want to see a replay of Belinsky's double overtake that he did into the first side a few moments ago. But I think they've got already on their hands too much to show us, and they've also got the live TV pictures at the moment of what's going on this circuit as well.
Tappinen was just under pressure as well, coming into it with Badoa. Badoa's moved up into 11th position now as well. Fantastic stuff from him as they come through. I think looking further back, Rafael Kamara is now in 20th position, just at the far side of the race, by the way, 139, 169, as we're on board with Nicholas Solov, who is chasing Tuukka Tappinen. Started 8th, dropped down to 13th, now on a comeback charge, and almost running into the back as well of Tappinen, who has just dropped back so much from where he started earlier on in the race. As, yep, Barrichello now in 25th position.
Absolutely, indeed at the moment. Things momentarily take a bit of a toll in this race, only for about half a lap until they get the DRS back open, and they absolutely blast on to try and make some overtakes in this contest as well. So right now, Stenchel getting himself closer onto the back of Traminic, who's dishing out the overtakes. Looks like we're going to have to look further back because Teo Fionale is trying to get past Noah Stanstead, who's going to stay ahead into the Ascari chicane as well. So nice and tidy stuff between those two drivers as the Snake now makes their way down towards Parabolica.
Down we go once more. Flick the car in, continue on the accelerator, and just pray that you've got the throttle underneath you to pick up the speed and pick up the acceleration with the addition of the DRS. But for Tim Chamberlain, of course, you're going to have to go really defensive. Wing opens up ever so slightly. Such a small rear wing DRS here in Formula 3. It's hard to tell when it is open. But Stenchel's got the run, but so is Roman Belinsky. He goes to the inside line, down to the Rettifilio. Late on the brakes, they're going to make contact. How do they avoid the race leader? As Chamberlain was incredibly late on the brakes and surprised everybody. Off the track went Stenchel. He's going to have to give the place back to Roman Belinsky because he was ahead at the apex. Belinsky's going to hold their inside line and should drift through, coming down to the Dalla Roggia chicane. But now, is Stenchel going to argue, well, I was forced off the track as well, but he was on the outside. They're still going to make side by side. And, yep, Stenchel stays ahead. In my book, only that's not right.
Yeah, they will need to look at that one. The team will be on the phone as well, telling him to make sure to get out of the way, to make sure to reinstate those positions as well, to avoid that penalty, because you don't want a penalty in a race like this as well. So down the inside comes Belinsky. Stenchel is going to be making his way through, and then it's a lock off of Stenchel. He kind of gets scared off by Belinsky just being there on the inside. So it's Stenchel who goes over the road and keeps hold of that place.
Look at Chamberlain, it's just like, no, I'm fine. No, nothing's affecting me. If I get rear-ended by one of you two, then that's your problem, not mine. This is Kamara down at the Dalla Roggia. Is he going to have a little bit of a mistake on the curb? He's got a car coming back on ahead of him. He almost runs into the back of one of the MPs coming through as well. And he slips on the inside of Bruno Del Pino quite nicely. Oh,
nice. He's just passing everywhere. He's getting every opportunity and he's taking it. Basically, it's what's going on right now.
Over the line then, lap 13 of 18. Anyone going to go for a move this time by? Look at Chamberlain's looking in his rear right mirror as to see where Martin Stenchel really is. A few people looking out further back as well. Is Gusti going to go for the move, and off goes Ikachiwu! Having to avoid his teammate just ahead of him. And he should rejoin in the same place he was, not losing out too many. Yep, he's lost out 2 places, as now we go back up front to the front of this one. Side by side this time, and unfortunately Noleon's going to have a little bit of a battle with Alessandro Gusti as well as coming to the braking zone. Leon's got the inside line, but Gusti's going to hold it round the outside, cuts the track, gains an advantage, has to get the place back, but not lose out as well to Charlie Verts, who's trying to sneak his way through. Stenchel Radio.
For me, we need to give back to Belinsky, mate.
Sure.
Not sure, but in case of that, he was at the apex.
Yep, exactly what we were saying a few moments ago. early on as well, now losing out as well, but Zaka says he's got to get that place back as well because he cut the corner. Here's Roman Belinsky now being given back the position by Martin Estenshaw as well as they come down in towards the braking zone for Ascari, and still now as well Charlie Vert's trying to look for a move on the outside.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been given a bit in a clever way because now they've all crossed themselves. And now it's a 1.2 second gap as well. So I don't think that was the most clever thing in the world. And now let's see whether Callum Roisin can make the move further back. He's trying to get past Tuka Tapman as we make our way down towards Parabolica. And they're going to be continuing that battle surely when they come down the straight. Meanwhile, GSC trying to get all of the grip in the world round the final corner to attack the Prema of Noah Leon down towards turn number 1.
Here we go. DRS open, pulls the inside line. Should get ahead of Noah Leon this time by. Meantime, look at Martin Estancia as well, trying to go around the outside for second position, and through has indeed gone the position for Gusti, and Belinsky stays ahead Stenshall. Oh, it's all getting tight as well. As look at that contact. Noah Leon gets hit from Charlie Verts on the back from the alternator, so that's going to change over a little bit. Boyers dropped down to 10th position. Verts moves up to 8th. Padoa goes into 9th place. All sorts of mayhem going on down at the Red Ophelio as we ride now on board, Omi, with Martin Estenshaw, who runs in 3rd position.
Absolutely, running in third position as well at the moment. Belinsky's got 2nd, and now Traminit is pulling away, so that the timing of that not good by Stenshall, and they're basically going to cost each other now at the moment. So that's not good at all from Stenshall. Of course, he's done it for the benefit so he can try and make the move easily, but that was not a good idea one bit by him, because it allowed our race leader to get away, and it's basically cost each other and cost everyone in that battle a chance to try and contend for that 2nd place. As this was Kamara. Every time we cut to him, it looks like he's gained 2 places. He's now up to 16th. As well, as he was in the mayhem, as he was trying to sense any form of opportunity to try make some overtakes as well, and this was him down towards the 2nd chicane. He's going to find some room around the outside, as you're going to see Dominguez, one of Dominguez's teammate who was having to get on the brakes as well. That was Niall at the time who had to get out of it, as we go back to live pictures now.
Down we go. Stenshall still on the back of Roman Belinsky as well, in towards turn 1. Belinsky moves to the right-hand side to go defensive. All Stenshall has to do is go around the outside. Late brakes in towards turn 1, and that's going to be a little bit risky off the track because Martin Stenshall contact!
Oh!
2 cars off from the back, and there's one of them is Charlie Verts and off! It's got to be Hugo Gachuru, hasn't it? He was involved. Yellow flags are waving as Stenshall was briefly in 2nd position. Belinsky's gone back ahead. Is this going to bring out the safety car to end the race? As now around the outside, Stenshall's going to try and have a go. Roman Belinsky into the braking zone for the Dallin Roger chicane. Late on the brakes. A little bit of a lock-up as well for Belinsky trying to get through. And now Stenshall's really going to have to put the pressure on because I reckon we might go safety car.
Absolutely, could be a move that he has to make immediately at the moment as well, as they make their way through this Lismo 1, then into Lismo 2. Still no decision as of yet, but surely we'll need a safety car, because the car will still be stationary. Safety car is deployed.
Yep, out goes Charlie Verts. And Badoa is dropping down the timing screen. There he is. So it was Brandon Badoa, not Hugo Gachuru. It was the other Prema with the black livery that has gone off with the front wing damage. So where is Hugo Gachuru in 11th position? And that then would effectively mean that Tramnitz is the victor of this race, because 12 minutes to go with 15 of 18. I can't see them clearing that car within the next couple of laps, Omi, so this could be the end of the race.
Yeah, could be, unless they are very quick and we somehow manage to muster a 1-lap shooter out of this as well, which I don't think anyone on this circuit would be able to contain out there on the circuit as well. So let's see how quickly this is going to be done and how they're going to do this. Right, let's look at a replay. Let's look at this as we headed towards Retofilio. 3 wide into the first turn was never going to work, and there's going to be contact, and it's going to be Leon's car who they also who they collide with. He's able to continue on.
Oh, and our camera survived, okay. Usually our camera dies, but it survived, and this was all for the back. So Leon cuts across the inside of Charlie Verts, and I reckon Leon's going to get blamed for this, because he does not give enough room to Charlie Verts, who then gets launched into the air and into the side of Brandon Badoa. So I reckon that's going to be Leon's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah. It always gets to that clatter point into the first turn. 3 into 1 on that occasion didn't go. It did go earlier on, but it's all about where the cars are placed at that time as well. It's always going to get tied into the retrofeeder. They, of course, last year made that slightly wider to allow cars to be able to go wheel to wheel on the exit of the corner, but that was just on the way in. So it is now at the moment Trident to look on as well to disappointing sights. Prema in their home race looking on to disappointing sights as well, with Brando at the moment as well, another driver who's elected to just get rid of that paint as well. And Vishor in Formula 2's also done the same. He's got a new striking livery for the remainder of the season due to how tall he is. So I think that's something for them to look at into next year. Lots of these drivers are just having to change liveries now due to weight.
Yeah, it would be the Carbon Grand Prix, wouldn't it? Coming into it like it was in Formula 1 at the start of the 2022 season. Brandon Bedell has now left the pit lane. So we'll have 2 laps left at the end of this one. The safety car's not going to come in this time, guys. So lap 17 will be the crunch point to see if we will go back racing. There's a Marshall just on the banking there in a yellow high-vis jacket that we saw on lap 1 of the race. I noticed. I looked up. He was sat on the banking and smoking a cigarette and just watching the race. I mean, of all the cool Saturday morning Italian things to do, that's certainly one of them, isn't it? To come on there. Of course, the Marshall has to be on that banking because in the unlikely situation that a car ends up getting airborne and ends up on the banking, there has to be someone there immediately for attention. So that's why there's still Marshalls on the old oval. It's an unusual oval, of course, here because we go down through the right, not the left, here at Monza. This is Solov having a front row seat over to all that melee in front of him.
Absolutely, the mess that we saw sort of arrive with down into that first turn. That was wild stuff. That was wild stuff. But yes, when you have battling like we've seen in this race, that was always to be expected that we would get to that point where it all just gets a little bit crazy, and that's exactly what happened in this scenario as well, as we continued battling down into the second chicane. Leon, of course, then losing that position. Boyer going on through. Solov cutting over the road on that occasion as well. So the safety car will need to come in this time by if we are going to get a one-lap shootout.
No further investigation for Bruno Depino for moving before the lights went out, so no false start for him. At least they've done that inside the race procedure, so we know what will happen in future. Safety car is still out then here, and if it is coming in this time by, that's all going to be good. So Trident lead by 12 points in the team standings to Campos, 282 to 270. MP will move up to third on 181 ahead of ART on 151. So, Omi, that's Trident going into tomorrow with a big advantage just to be champion.
It really is a big advantage and a good advantage that they would want as well. And we, of course, have Thunderball and Collision also noted involving quite a few drivers. Safety cars ending, and we're about to get a one-lap shootout to decide a winner. And, well, this has to be absolutely a perfect restart from Bielinski as he tries to take what would be a great victory for him. And Tramin is trying to win around this circuit once again like he did 1 year ago. And Kamara seeing whether he can just gain 6 places at the end to try and grab some points from this one.
He knows that tomorrow's feature race will be just a couple of laps longer, so let's see if that's going to be a big factor to play into it. Tramnitz will come out of the Ascari chicane and heads down towards the Parabolica. It's lap 17 of 18. We'll have one more lap to go. Let's have a replay. Ready?
We have one last racing lap, mate. Let's make it happen.
Bielinski's got to go up and immediately catch when Tramnitz goes. He's staying right behind him. He's almost hitting the back of him coming through. Stenshaw's ready as well. Soon, how quick is Roman Bielinski's reactions? Tramnitz going to go now, and Bielinski knew about that. He's gone with him, so is the rest of the field, but Stenshaw's right behind Roman Bielinski, so that's a good reason. Look at the gap already. Tramnitz just got his tyres so much more its temperature open as we head down to turn 1, so Tramnitz might have got this one defended. If anything, Bielinski's got to be cautious of Stenshaw as we go back green.
Absolutely best overtaking chances now. You've got to try and find your way through as we roar on to the final lap of this race. And GSD not leaving any time. He's already on the chase of Zagazeta down towards the Retafilo chicane as well. And there's not going to be a change between our top 4, but the action's behind.
Wheel to wheel, and yeah, well, Goose is going to go off wide, and there goes goes off the track this time. Ugo Ugochuru, he was in a battle with his teammate Noel Leon. Zagazita gets back ahead up into 5th position as they all come round. That's Mari Boyer and Nicolas Solov now all in a battle together as they come through down to the braking zone. Solov's under massive attack. Tramnit stays ahead of Roman Blinsky. Stenshaw's locking up the rear tyres, going through back on the inside with a superb move. I think when it was used to getting back ahead, Zagazita's going defensive as well. He's trying everywhere, but Boyer's in there too on the inside line of Lesmo 1. Solov's just desperately trying to find a position to come through, I mean, but it's not working out the way they're expecting it to.
Absolutely,
Whoa.
They're still going to make their way through with Solov not being able to get the grip out of the corner. A bit of a tank slapper there as he's standing on the power. Does that leave him vulnerable, I wonder, to Leon, who's going to surely get an opportunity to try and go on the attack. He wasn't close enough, but it's allowed him to close in as we head to Ascari, and GSD still on the outside line. He'll have to back out of that, stand on the power and make this a drag race to the line, possibly a move into Parabolica as well.
Top 10 are going to dramatically change just before we get to the checker flag line. Who's that flying off the circuit? It's that Callum Vosen, who's a bit too far back for that to be. Could be coming through as well, further behind as well for Louis Sharp. But out of the last corner, up towards the line, Tim Tramnitz will go back to back. Last year to this year, Tramnitz wins again in a fantastic race at Monza. It's second for Roman Belinsky, third across the line for Martin Estancho. Lawrence Van Hopen drops from pole to 4th, and Solov's got a problem as he drops across the line and finishes down the order. Where did Solov end up then? Because he got a very bad run, down in 23rd position. Zagazita 5th, Boyer 6th, Gusti 7th, Leon 8th, Vosin 9th, Stromsed 10th, Ugachu and a Kamar and Teofil Nal tapping in. Look at Interpruvazak in 15th place. What a race, Obi. That was fantastic.
Yep, Formula 3 at Monza absolutely delivered all of the goods, all of the chaoticness that we expected, and guess what? Over the last few years, the feature race has been better, and we've also got a few more laps. So if this was anything to go by, it's going to be crazy tomorrow.
It really, really is. There's a problem. We're going to have a replay because something's happened at the last corner too. Solid, let's take a look. So who's he fighting up in front? This is going to be Zagazita, if I'm not mistaken. GST, the other one, sorry. Is it going to happen here?
Are they going to make contact, I wonder? GST's going to go around the outside deep. Is he going to... Oh! Solo spun.
Oh, how lucky was he not to have anybody take him out?
Just turn into me.
That's a weird...
So let's have a look then. He does. He violently turns into him. That's a bit of a PlayStation move, isn't it?
Oh god, absolutely chaotic stuff as they made their way around the final corner. We thought it was an issue originally. There was just no momentum after a sprint for him as well. So yeah, lots for the stewards to do in race number 1 of the day.
Really, really is. So, as I'm going to have to let Omi go now before we go, because I've got to get this laptop upstairs to cover the MotoGP second practice. So, before we hand over to the world feed.
Yeah, we did it once again. In Monza. Yeah. Come on, guys. Good job. Good job. Yeah.
Omi, what have you made of it?
Well, typical Formula 3 at Monza. Bring on the feature race tomorrow.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, Omi. Let's head down and join our world feed colleagues after such an amazing race.
Win, another sprint race win for him here at Monza. A huge congratulations for the German driver, and a return to the podium for Roman.
Good job, mate. Very good job. Bravo. Ah, what a race. What a race.
He's trying to take what would be a first top 10 finish in the Drivers' Championship as well for Rodin. How about that? 30th to 12th. That's not bad.
More than half the field. What could this man have done if he'd have started where he should have done, if he hadn't have had that excursion off the track at turn number 5 in qualifying? Doesn't really matter for the championship, but he'll be content with coming and passing more than half the field in that race. An outstanding drive from our champion.
Yeah, he'll want to get points tomorrow, though. When he knows the team's championship for him, he'll want to help Trident try and win that. And a word on Martini Stenchon as well. Well done to him. Another podium finish and in the top 5 in the championship. So crucial points for him in trying to retain a top 5 or get on a championship podium. He's got a chance for that now tomorrow. But out front, Red Bull Junior, Tim Tramnitz, trying to get after a championship podium. And that is a big step forward in his chances in doing that. It would be a first for MP Motorsport and Tim Tramnitz with a second sprint race win here at Monza. They are the toughest races to win. Sprint races at Monza, not easy at all. And Tim Tramnitz celebrating now with his father there. A real good moment for him, isn't it? He's won what is the toughest race, I think, in Formula 3 twice.
And look at the emotion there of that second place driver.
That's Roman with his dad, Henry.
Amazing to see. You know, there's all of these teams, drivers and families work so hard behind the scenes to get them on the grid, let alone then to be successful, and especially considering what Roman's been through in the last 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
With his his injury, he's still not apparently at full capacity in his left foot, which is, you know, what the foot you break with, and he's able to still go out there and perform at the very highest level, genuinely challenging for the win in that race, and a hugely impressive defensive drive from Belinsky in that one to keep Stenshorn right behind him. And it's good to see the sportsmanship between those two as they went side by side a number of times in this race. Stenshorn, he potentially did more laps where he didn't do the chicane at turn 1 than he did.
Yeah, he did some great racing out there with great side-by-side action, wasn't it, with Roman? I think that was the key part, though. But that said, Tim Tramnitz was faced with a last lap safety car restart, and he dealt with it absolutely perfectly, and that is why he is now kneeled down next to that number 1 board.
He did it twice, didn't he? Both safety car restarts, he somehow managed to get enough of a gap that he wasn't under any pressure in towards turn 1, and it's a crucial part of building a race and building a race weekend, is being able to lead the field in a safety car, and it's not something you get to practice a whole heap, but he nailed it today and was the man to beat. Did it last year in the sprint race, did it again this year. In fact, this year, if anything, slightly more dominant, coming through and then sort of dominating the race from the front of the field, did everything he needed to do, didn't put a foot wrong in that one, and then stands beside that number 1 board once again. Good race from Tim Tramnitz, and MP will be happy with that one, as that puts them in a commanding position in 3rd in the team's championship as well.
It does. Well done there to both Tim Tramnitz, Roman Belinsky and Martini Stenshorn. And I agree with you. Great to see the emotion there from the drivers, parents as well. Means so much to them. Let's hear what the drivers have to say, shall we? Let's go to the cool down.
A little bit, because I pushed so hard at the beginning.
Where did you start?
7.
But we lost so much when I had to let you buy again.
Yeah. That, and then at that point I was like, okay, I can't, I'm not in the DRS of Tim, so...
Oh, the DRS was really powerful.
Yeah.
But I still can pass you on when I was in DRS.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, you got quite close, like, I think you were 0.7 or 0.8 behind.
Yeah.
And I had to...
But like, out of the
I
last
think
one, I
you
was
need
not
like
so far.
0.6, no? It's around 0.6 you need.
Yeah.
Or no? I saying you saw it in turn 3 on the...
I was laughing so hard. Like.
I was hoping you would see it, so... You won here last year, no?
Yeah.
The sprint.
Yeah, it was the same with the safety car at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Like, also 1 lap shootout.
Yeah.
But I think the restart was quite nice.
It was clever because if I was in reverse...
Tim and Roman, you can see them there, the teammates back in Freca with Trident, actually, and their parents got to know each other very well. So good to see the emotion from them. Martinius knows them very well from racing in the other categories as well. Now, all together on the podium in F1 Formula 3 on such a big weekend, Italian Grand Prix as well.
Do you know what, the racing in that was such high quality from most of the field. We saw a few isolated incidents, but in a 30-car grid going down to the braking zones, you're going to have issues. But the front of the field, it was side by side, so close, such little contact. But driver that came out in 3rd place, Martini Stenshorn, he'll be content with that.
This is the podium walk, I think all drivers dream of, and Martini Stenshorn is now taking it out onto 3rd place. Congratulations for Martini Stenshorn, makes his way out onto the podium Roman Belinsky is going to now walk out there for the 3rd time. And Tim Tramnitz walks out as a sprint race winner for the 2nd time in a row here at Monza. He just loves this place. Tim Tramnitz will be on that top step once again. Huge emotion out there. Great to see such proud parents as well. They know that this is something very special Tim Tramnitz is achieving here, and he's doing it on the biggest of stages. Well done, Tim Tramnitz, a Red Bull Junior, and on his way to doing something MP Motorsport haven't quite done before. A possible championship podium. Well done to him, and MP Motorsport on their way to a possible Teams Championship podium as well. That would be a very special result for them. Roman Belinsky's helping take Rodin Motorsport into new territory as well. Another podium for him, and his father Henry watching on, a very proud man. He's always been there every step of the way supporting him. Martini Estenchon as well. He's been a familiar sight onto that podium and achieved great feats when he came from 15th to first back at Red Bull Ring. 3 drivers, all very deserving podium finishers, and put on one of the greatest spectacles I think we've seen all season, Piers.
I can agree. Champagne time for a wonderful day. Omi's still with me in audio. Omi, final thoughts from a cracker race.
Absolutely fantastic FIA Formula 3 race. Great to see Belinsky's dad also having his moment as well, considering what that family and Belinsky has gone through over that time. So great to see them enjoying this moment. But yeah, Tim Tramnitz winning this race 2 years in a row. Congratulations to him.
It's been an amazing race and an amazing atmosphere. We will see you later on for the action from Formula 2. Bye-bye.